Now the next one we're going to address is, I stated that the support collection unit has a new accounting system. And it's a great system for screwing people over. And you wouldn't know it. I had a guy call me up, and I'll go over his figures in a minute. And I go, no, on the phone, can't be. When I sat down and looked at them, I go, oh my goodness. You're getting screwed. This is how it works. It's very easy. I'm going to do it in simple terms, and I'm going to show you what they actually did. Previous balance. Say you're in court. You pay $100 per week child support. You're $1,000 in arrears. And after the hearing, the judge says, okay, you're going to pay your $100 a week current support, and you're going to pay $50 per week on arrears. So what they do is they take $1,000. Your obligation is actually only $100. The $50 is on arrears. It's not, your current obligation is $100. If you don't pay it, your new balance should be $1,100. What the SCU does, previous balance $1,000, your new obligation is $150, which is $100 plus the $50 on arrears, but you already owe, that's got nothing, that's not a current support obligation. They add the two together, your new balance is $1,150. Should be $1,100. Now, $50 is already included in the previous balance and is not owed again. The SC does if only current support payment is made. Previous balance is $1,000. Your obligation is $150. You make your current support obligation of $100, but now you're $50 more in arrears. But you made your current payment. It should only be $1,000. The other is a payment on arrears. It has nothing to do with your current support obligation. And then, if you do make your current payment, your previous balance is $1,000. Your obligation is $150. You make a payment of $150, which is your current obligation of $100 plus $50 on arrears. Your balance is still $1,000. It should be $950 because you paid $50 on the arrears. Great bookkeeping system. This is what happened to Patrick. He came in. This is what they did. They sent him 4 statements in a row. Normally they don't do that. You're lucky to get a statement every 4 or 6 months from the support collection unit. But he got 4 of them in a row. His obligation was $244.28 a month. His obligation was $244.28. Payment, he made a payment of $125. It reduced it down to, it went to $39.20 and went up. $465.65. Paid $361, went up. Or yep, went up again to $4,000. Then they upped it to $484.28. He paid $440. It went up again. And then $484, $240, and it still went all the way up to $45.01. Now, what the account should have showed, he was to pay $244 a month. On a 5-week month, it would be $305.35. You take the previous balance plus this figure minus the $125 is $39.20, same as up there. The next month, his obligation is $244.28, not $465. Payment, $361. It went down. Well, if you look at the end, he only owes $3673.55. According to the support collection unit, his new pay he now owes $4,501. There's a difference of $828 that they have added to his child support obligation that he doesn't owe. It's their bookkeeping system. Further, Densmore and Hall claimed that there was no proof that the SCU figures, these figures up here, were wrong and sent Patrick to jail. Here's a guy going to jail on false figures by the support. Now, I don't know what they did before this. I don't know what they did after it. But he's right here, they've already taken added $828 that they're not entitled to. Closed court proceeding, no jury trial, corruption. He probably wouldn't have been convicted. Now, here's even a better part of the story. Patrick is a painter. He had a job. He got down the street from his ex-wife's house. She spotted the truck out in front of the house while he was in painting. She went in and had a conflict and made a lot of allegations against the woman who hired him to do the painting. He ended up having to refund the money to the person and had to leave the job unfinished because of his ex-wife. That was raised as one of the issues in the court proceeding. The court could care less. She interfered with him making money to pay his child support, and she gets rewarded by him going to jail. That's how the court system is corrupt. That's why we need open proceedings and jury trials. So this stuff can be brought out and people can see what's going on. In my case, he's not the only one, which I'll get into more in detail later. But according to my past due statement, I owed $65.40. My charge last month was $750. It should have only been $600. At $120 a week, 5 times 5 is $600, not $750, which was the $30 a week on arrears. So they take that, charges this month is $750, I'm now $72.80. So they added an extra $150 to my arrears that shouldn't have been. Now, here's the kicker. Past due $65.40, $750, my past due is $72.80. Sounds good. My total balance on it due on account is $9,984. If I'm past due $72.80, how can I owe $94.84? These are their figures. I didn't print this up. This is, where do they come up with these figures? And try calling them. They want to know everything, and then when you start asking them on the phone, they can't answer your questions. All they want is for you to give them information. They will not give you any information. Believe me, I tried twice, and that's not worth it. But this is what's going on. Now, dealing with this issue, I sent a letter to the news media about it. What's going on? So the news media was well aware of it. I also sent copies to Ellen Bibin, Special Deputy Attorney General for Public Integrity, and Robin L. Baker, Executive Deputy Attorney General for Criminal Justice. This is a crime what they're doing, defrauding people. If it was me doing it, I'd be in jail. But because it's the state doing it, it's legit. I did get a response. Notice whose name is up here. Andrew M. Cuomo, who's always talking about corruption in the legislature. Never talks about it in the judiciary and doesn't talk about it in the executive branch. It's only the legislature that's corrupt. I'll tell you, the legislature's got to learn a lot from the executive branch and the judiciary. On behalf of Attorney General Andrew M. Cuomo, I thank you for the information you provided to the Public Integrity Bureau. Never heard from them again. Nothing is corrected. Why wasn't this gone over? Because they don't want to have to correct thousands, tens of thousands of fathers and mothers who pay child support based upon these phony math of the support collection unit. Now, I also said they're illegally taking driver's licenses. What they do is they're supposed to send out a letter stating that your license is up for suspension. In a lot of cases they don't. I didn't get one. I've got a number of others that never got the letter. 10 days before the license is suspended, don't they get a notice, thank goodness for motor vehicle, who sends out a notice saying that your license is about to be suspended in 10 days. The support collection unit is required, whose income is, they're supposed to send it out. There's a whole procedure there to follow. They don't follow it. It's under Family Court Act 458 and Social Services Law 111B. It's on my website. All these posters are on my website if you want to go look it up. Also, the arguments I've made on different cases concerning this are also on there. If your income, responding to income as defined by subparagraph 5B of subdivision 1 of section 413, falls below the self-support reserve as defined by subparagraph of the subdivision 1 of 400 of this act. In other words, if your income, right now it's $16,038, is below the self-support reserve, and that is supposed to be based on disposable income. There is case law to that. It's on my website and in my arguments. It's not what your gross is and then they take taxes and everything out. No, it's supposed to be from disposable income. They cannot take your driver's license. But if you don't know that, they're going to take your driver's license, and if you want to be able to drive to and from work, you have to pay a $75 fee. But you can't drive anyplace else but to and from work. The other thing they do is, if they have a income deduction order. Well, the income deduction order, if you have one of those listed, they cannot take your license from you. If they're collecting it through an income deduction order, they legally can't take your license. They do it anyway because if you don't know it, they're not going to tell you. Right here. Notwithstanding the requirements of the subdivision, right here, according to 3, your driver's license cannot be suspended if the SCU has an income deduction order in effect. It's plain language. Get an income deduction order. They can't take your driver's license away. They're supposed to give you 45 days notice. They don't give the 45 days notice. They ignore everything. Now, that takes care of the driver's licenses, how they're illegally taking driver's licenses from people. Cost of living increase. Under the law, this is the way they do it here. Child support. Say you're ordered to pay child support of $115 a week. You pay daycare of $40. You pay Social Security of $30. Total child support is $185. You get a 10% increase. The cost has gone up 10%. The increase, they take 10% of the $185, so you're now paying $203.50. But if you read the law, it's only supposed to be on the $115. It's not on the total $185 because daycare or any other doctor's bills, whatever, is not eligible for a cost of living increase. Only the basic child support obligation. Now granted, it may only be $11, or $10 a month or a week difference. But $10 a week is $520 a year. It adds up.